Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to Meditation Tuesday. So, I will start first of all by going over what we'll be doing this evening in today's session. So, first of all, I'm going to cover today's topic. So, I'll reveal that to you in a moment and introduce myself formally. And then I'll go into the presentation, which will explain everything about what the topic is about. And then, of course, we will do some guided meditation. And at the end, we'll do a question and answer session. So if you have any questions throughout, please feel free to ask. And let's move on. So, how do I find inner peace? How can meditation help? So that is today's topic. This is a very relevant topic, I think, well, really throughout all of human history, but more recently, definitely I've been noticing a trend where people are looking for peace. So I thought this was a really good opportunity to actually present this topic to everybody. So now I'll introduce who we are and obviously who I am. So my name's Stephen. I'm from Brisbane Meditation. So I'm the meditation helper, the guide at Brisbane Meditation. And I've been doing this meditation now for over 7.5 years. It's almost getting to 8 years. And I've been a guide, an official guide now for almost just under a year, actually. And so this meditation has really helped me find my own inner peace. So I used to struggle a lot throughout my whole life. When I got to my 20s, mid-20s, I got to a point where I was thinking to myself, I actually can't live with this mind anymore. It was unbearable, actually. It was so negative and so robotic. Just everything cycled all the same. Every week was exactly the same. Every day was exactly the same. There wasn't a shred of positivity. And if there was one positive thought, it would quickly become avalanched by all the negative thoughts. As soon as one negative thought would enter into my mind, that's it. I'd just collapse into that negativity and stress and anxiety. And I thought, this sucks. Like, I can't live like this. And thankfully, I found a solution, or rather a solution found me, and it was in the form of this meditation. So here I am, 7.5 years later, with a completely changed and renewed mind, and guiding this meditation and really sharing this wonderful method with people around the world. And Brisbane Meditation is part of online meditation Oceania. So we are actually a conglomerate of meditation centers throughout the Oceanic region, all across Australia and New Zealand. So we have meditation centers in WA, New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, and of course, New Zealand. And we're continuously expanding. We're a non-profit organization, and all of our centers are non-profit, and they're all fully guided, face-to-face and in-person meditation centers. Okay, so now I'm going to play a short little video that will introduce properly the topic and what the inner peace is all about.
Inner peace. While everyone seeks inner peace, there is no one who is truly at peace. For the world to be harmonious and people to have inner peace, people's minds have to become true. But in the mind which people have built up over their lifetime, as there is only stress, there is no inner peace. Once the mind of stress is discarded, you will have the peaceful mind, which is the mind of truth. So why not try this meditation of throwing away the body and mind?
Okay, fantastic. So what it talks about in that video is actually that we have no inner peace because we have this mind, and this mind is just full of stress. So how does this actually happen? What is actually stress, and how does it happen as a result of our mind? So in order to know this and to know why we don't have any inner peace, we actually have to understand what the mind is. So if I had an apple in my hand, this would be a real apple. If you had an apple in your hand, it would be a real apple. We could all agree that would be an apple we could pass around amongst each other. You could eat it, you could taste it, you could smell it, you could hear it. But if you had a camera or your phone and you took a picture, you'd know intuitively the apple on the film is actually, it's just a picture. It's not real. It's not the real apple. You can't actually eat it. However, when we think about an apple in our mind, people actually trip up on this question. If you imagine an apple in your mind, is that real or just a picture? Some people actually say it's real, and this is precisely the problem. In actuality, the one that's in our mind is also just a picture. The reason why is because we can't actually take that apple out of our mind. We can't do anything with it. If we're starving in the middle of the desert, doesn't matter how many apples I imagine in my mind, I'll never, ever satisfy my hunger because it's just a picture. It's an illusion. It's not real. And so if we think of the mind like this as just a mind of falseness, a mind of illusion, then everything in this presentation is going to make a lot of sense. So how is that mind actually formed? So we have this 5 senses camera. So just like a camera takes pictures with the lens, we actually also take pictures with our eyes. We also take pictures with our nose, with our ears, our mouth, and then our body itself. So this 5 senses camera. And so when we refer to pictures in the mind, we're actually talking about thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, and images. So quite literally, everything that comes up in your body and mind, we refer to as pictures. We just use the terminology as pictures to describe everything because it's a very simple term. It just means that what's in the mind is just a copy. It's not the real thing. And so we're taking pictures with this 5 senses camera. And so from the moment we were born, we had this life that I lived. So we have all these pictures in our mind from all these experiences that we've had. And so if you think about a camera, this is like the film of a camera. And there's the software of a camera. So our software is actually our DNA. So the habits, the genetic code that we've inherited from our parents and our ancestors. So our mother and father gave birth to us, and we have all of their genetic codes imprinted into our body. And so that is like the software in our mind. And then of course, the hardware is this body itself. So the body, which is like the body of the camera. So the human mind actually is made of the life that I've lived, the habits that I've inherited from my ancestors, and this body. And so how is this mind actually formed throughout life? So from the moment we were born, we were just taking these pictures. So now if I use just an example of somebody's life lived. So for example, from the moment we were born, we were just automatically taking pictures with these 5 senses. So for example, you might have something in your mind that you'll remember if I say to you, your mum, and in your mind, you'll have an experience and a picture in your mind of your mum. You may have done something when you were young, you dropped something on the floor and your mum yelled at you. Then your body and mind took a picture of this moment, and then your consciousness became stained with this experience. And then you stored that picture in your mind. Now you started to perceive the world in this way. So for example, if you broke something and your mother yelled at you, you might have a fear of trying things. On the other hand, if you broke something and your mother patted you on the back and said, "It's okay, darling, accidents happen," you might have a completely different outlook on life and say, "Well, I'm not afraid to try things because anything that I try, everything's going to be okay." Whatever happens in the past determines how we see the present because we're actually living inside of this picture world. So as we go through life, we have all these different experiences in school, having fights and arguments, arguing about my picture world and your picture world, taking these different experiences in our mind, and again, staining our consciousness and filling up our mind with all of these stored pictures. Relationships, whether we have good relationships or bad relationships, again, we just take these pictures. So we have these experiences, and again, the way that I perceive the opposite sex is based on these relationships. So for example, you might have friends, or maybe even yourself, you say, "Oh, all men are terrible," or "all women are terrible," and you've had maybe a series of bad experiences, 3 or 4 bad relationships. And based on those 3 or 4 bad relationships, you've determined in your mind that all of the opposite sex is terrible, when there's actually another 3.5 to 4 billion other people that fit into that category. But because we live inside of this mind world, that's all we can actually see. So we're only ever talking about what we have in our mind. So this is why we live inside of that picture world. And this mind world actually just continues to build up over time. So everything that we do, we start working, the jobs that we have, worrying about our mortgages, our house, our money, how am I going to take care of myself, getting into arguments with colleagues and my boss. We're just continuously taking these pictures. And this is precisely what stress is. This build-up of the mind is exactly what stress is. And this is why we have no peace. Not only do we take these experiences into our mind in that moment, we're actually also continuously dwelling on them. So we're taking more and more and more pictures. So our mind gets so complicated and so full of all of these pictures. So literally everything that we do is filling up our mind, so it's overflowing. So it's little wonder why we have no inner peace, because we have this mind world that we're carrying around with us that is just full everywhere that we go. So if that's the case, then how can I actually find that inner peace? If this mind world that I have, this picture world, has been added into my mind from everything that I've ever done, then what would the solution be? If you really think about it, the solution is quite obviously to actually take out those pictures from the mind, to let them go. And so we actually just need to let go of these things. And if you imagine that you let go of all of these pictures from your mind, then you can truly find that inner peace that is within you, because there is no peace out there. Conditions will help you have some inner peace, but that peace that you experience is only happening in your mind. So you have that inner peace within you. So all you need to do is actually learn to discard those things from your mind. And so let's actually learn how to do that. So we're actually going to try some meditation. So this is the way to actually discard and let go. So first of all, we're going to do a little warm-up exercise to recognize that what's in our mind is just pictures. And then all you need to do is just follow my guidance. So I will guide you through the meditation and simply just surrender to the process. Allow your mind to follow my guidance and just follow. Whatever comes up in your mind, just follow as best as you can. And then I'll show you how to actually discard those things from your mind. And of course, the most important thing is just relax and just enjoy. Don't let the process of meditation become a stressful thing. It shouldn't be stressful. So just relax and enjoy. Don't worry too much about it. Don't take it so seriously. Thank you very much, everybody, for meditating together. So I wanted to read that passage again because I think it hits harder. It hits more close to your heart when you actually have done some meditation. And in that passage, it actually talks about the mind of truth. So what is the mind of truth? So the mind of truth is actually my true self, which is the universe. So whether you're spiritual or religious, it doesn't actually matter. This mind of truth is the universe. So we use this circle to describe that universe, whether you call it God, Buddha, Allah, soul, spirit, universe, emptiness, doesn't actually matter. The name doesn't matter at all. What matters is that's your true self. That's who you actually are. However, as you've just seen through this meditation, I have this whole entire life that I've built up in my mind, and that's actually the mind of falseness. This is the mind of stress. So I have this picture world in my mind that I've built up. So this life that I live is completely overlapped over that existence. So I can't actually see that I am that existence because I'm living inside of that mind world. And that is the mind of stress, pain, burden, and suffering. So as you do this meditation more and more, you will realize, there is this true mind, this mind of truth, and then there is this false mind. This false mind is actually the source of all of my problems. The only problem there is that mind. So actually, once you get rid of that mind completely, discard that body and mind, you return to the source, which is your true self, the true body and mind. And from there, when you're reborn, then you live forever as that existence, which is your true self. And the beauty of this meditation is you can become that mind of truth. You can discover that land of truth, that place of truth that is within you. And so the ultimate objective is to live forever as that existence. As you make your way to that existence, the icing on the cake is that you will lose all the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the anger, the uncontrollable feelings and emotions, the negativities. You'll gain focus, clarity, peace, wisdom, all of these things. But the whole objective is to find that mind of truth. So again, that mind of truth is the place of true calm, the place of true peace. It's the place of true positivity. It's true positivity because I don't need to wake up every morning and try and read positive books and try and have positive affirmations and struggle all of my life and put post-it notes everywhere. I don't need to do any of that. I just need to discard my mind. And there is that mind of true positivity. It's also the mind of increased happiness. There's more happiness there because it's the source of happiness. It's unconditional happiness. You have improved wisdom as you get closer and closer to that mind, and improved self-awareness because you know, this is my true self, not that mind of pictures that I have built up in my mind. So, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's session. So I will now open up the floor to questions. I'll stop the presentation